Good morning and happy Independence Day to all of our American viewers. Today on Casa TexPina, build day number 94. No longer doing any of the trusses upstairs for right now. The welders have run out of pre-made trusses, so they're going back into the fabrication mode. They'll fabricate some more off of the angle iron that they had delivered just a couple of days ago. Also today we're starting out with concrete this morning, and what they're going to be concreting is the foundation for the perimeter wall. So they're going to do a couple inches of concrete down in the bottom and wet set the first course of hollow block. And then probably put at least the first two courses of hollow block up, so they can get everything set, get the rebar coming up, and get started on the foundation wall. As far as the rest of the inside, should be business as usual. A little bit more plaster coating where need be. I believe that's it for most of the morning. That's what I'm expecting for today. Thanks for dropping in and watching. Let's see how these guys are working today, and I'll show you as we go along. So let's get started. All right, so this morning we're starting with mixing concrete, and this is going to be all for the bases of the posts as well as the foundation walls for the fence line. It should be pouring, looks like about the first, you can see possibly see where the string line is down here at the bottom. They'll be pouring to that depth the whole way, and then wet setting the first course of hollow block as we get going along. Let's go take a walk inside and see where everybody's at so far this morning. Again, they're doing the the concrete by hand today. And inside. Morning. Morning. Doing a little bit of cleanup inside. Today they're continuing with hollow block from yesterday's, extending the wall here, so that we've got, what we have left is the picture window area. So we've still got a couple blocks here at the top and two more courses of hollow block down along the bottom. You see our electrician on the far side. He is smoothing out the outlets from when they got finished with the plaster coat. And over here in the corner, between the office and master hallway, Mr. Ben is continuing with the lower half of the plaster coat today, continuing with what he was starting yesterday. Okay, let's go take a look. They've got a bunch of mortar already pre-mixed for him and for the others doing mortar coat, plaster coat other places. Let's see what we got back here. Okay, we've got in the hallway, looks like yesterday they finished putting in the sewer pipe coming from the upstairs half bath down here to the first, and it'll connect in that way where we showed you yesterday. This is the cold water line going up to support the top half bath. And they have covered all this back in. So we got, that's what that looks like for the moment. And you can see where the sewer and cold water come back in here. They will probably, the next thing when they do show it back up is to connect these portions for the sewer and floor drain, and there should be one over on this side for the sink. and the cold water will go up with that as well. Okay, let's see what they're doing back here in room number 2, bedroom 2. Good morning.
Morning, Dad.
Looks like they're pulling off some of the forms from yesterday afternoon's concrete pour over the Jack and Jill bath. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, we're going to continue working these areas. Go ahead and head back out. Morning, Mr. Jericho. Starting plaster coat, huh? The hallway, the stairwell. All right. Okay, that's where most people are at so far this morning. Okay, so back on the fence. Initially, what they have put in place is just the footing. They will come along here momentarily once they get the rest of the rebar set to do a wet set for the first course of the hollow block. They're looking to do that a little later this morning or this afternoon, sometime today though, definitely. Go in here and take a look inside of the Jack and Jill bath. This is Mr. Anjo placing the door frame in this location and getting it prepped for placing mortar in behind the frames itself. Okay, before they get started grinding, it gets noisy in here. The AC guys are back today, and they're going to start putting in the location for the AC unit in the great room or the living room area. Okay, so for the air conditioning, one of the first drain lines has been installed. Since it's low pressure, just a drip line, they're using the blue PVC, which is typically lower grade than what you see for the conduit, which is typically the orange PVC here. This is typically for conduit and drain lines. This here is a lesser grade, but works great for ACs. So drain line from the top down, and it'll go underneath outside. And these will all connect in to the drain lines, the gutter downspouts that we have for the roof hidden gutter system. That'll all connect together. Once all those lines connect together, that'll connect out to the storm drain. So these guys are working on putting the PVC together and putting in where the drain line is going to go here, right along the top of the beam, and there's the hole there where it'll go out. All right, back up here to the front. They are starting to locate the top of the roof ridge for the entranceway, showing where all that's going to go. They'll keep working on that. Plaster coating operations back here with Mr. Ben. Still working. I hear people cutting back here in the back. Let's go ahead and move towards the back and see what's going on back here. Mr. Jericho is still working plaster coat for the stairwell, with Mr. Justin helping. And here in the bedroom number 3, pardon me, building forms for the top bond beam here in bedroom number 3, and Mr. Anjo here in the Jack and Jill bath is putting in the door frames. Tap the mortar down to get it to where it needs to go. All right, on the fence line, we got a little bit of progress moving. Putting in the concrete for the base, and once it starts setting just a little bit, they will come back and dry set, oh sorry, wet set some of the hollow block along the way. Just a point of note, they're going to start the hollow block wall on the other side of this post, so this post won't be poured any further up because they're waiting for the plumbers to come back at some point so that they can cap this line. They need to cap this line underneath, possibly even as back as far as underneath the sidewalk, so that when they do put in the perimeter fence, that it doesn't break that water line. Well, the one bag mixer is still broken. Apparently it lost a bearing, or bearing broke. Something in the wheelhouse here. So the belts don't move. So right now what they're doing is mixing the concrete all by hand. Let's go take a look back here where they've been mixing. You can see here Mr. Pablo over here is mixing the concrete that they're using for the mixing the cement and the sand. This is what they're going to be using for the concrete for the rest of the way around the hollow block wall. So they will continue this the rest of the way up this direction. All right, coming around the front, the welders were working earlier today. They have put out the skeleton view of what the roof line is going to look like over the front porch. So you can see where it comes down off of the main pitch of the house, does a hip, comes out here, and then slants off to the end. Now the original perspective had it as a steeple look. It was flat across the front like this. Together with the engineer, we decided that that is not the proper look for the house. So we're going to go with the similar look that's going to be over the back of the dormer window as well. So it's going to have that a pitched roof as opposed to just a flat stand up. All right, they're moving 3/4. Good afternoon. They're moving 3/4 inch minus to the back where you saw them with the large pile of cement and sand, and they are making concrete. Okay, much better. Thank you. Okay, so now the yeah, that looks good. It's been adjusted so that we have a positive drain going down. All right, and let's see what's going on back here. This the wall has been completed here in the hallway on the outside edge of the office coming into the house. Mr. Chucks, oh, you're fixing the fixing all the outlets, huh? They mess up your outlets when they do the plaster coat. So you got to fix, make square again. Good job. All right, what are we working on back here? Oh, you're doing the joists.
I will make sure we will make again there.
Okay.
Very good?
Very good.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We just
Not.
that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
So that maybe when this day we'll go around the super lanes.
Oh, with the purlins. With the purlins.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you get.
When we finish, all forward. Woo.
Good
Okay.
deal. All right, thank you.
Okay. Welcome.
That's my welder foreman back there. All right, let's go see what's going on this side of the house. Looks like we still got some mortar being made for plaster coating. Mr. Anjo is still working on the door frame for the dirty kitchen area. So he just started on this just before lunch. Yeah, I'm recording this. They're putting more termiticide. Very hard word. Even for English speaker, that's a hard word. Termiticide. It just means termite killer. Yes. Stone termite? Well, don't let chokes come out here then. We need chokes. So all right. All right, coming back into the guest bedroom side of the house, we've got much going on. Plaster coating. You see the blue pipe? That's air conditioning drain line. And let's see, is Mr. Justin still hiding in the corner? Yeah. All right. Got our tag team going on the plaster coating. Still got forming work going on here for the top bond beam. Mr. Anjo was in here earlier working the mortar into the door frame, and he has now since covered it with this is cocoa lumber. We call this cocoa lumber. What it is it's basically a coconut tree that's been cut down and cut into small strips like normal wood, like you would do with pine. Except here, this is more plentiful, cheaper, and easier to use. Okay, so that's what's going on this side of the house. Back in this side of the house, in the living room area, we have slowly been taking out the jacks. Not all of them, but one or two at a time. And actually, if I back up here, Alright, so the main focus today for the air conditioning guys was getting the drain lines put in. So here's the one on the outside of bedroom number 2. And that's the lift down there at the bottom. Coming around to the front of the building, to the front of the house, the eastern side. And we have another drain line. This is for bedroom number 3. Comes down to the end. Now what's going to happen with these at the end here, they're going to connect to all of the drain lines for our downspouts from the gutter system, the hidden gutter system that we're putting in. Because there's going to be a big box underneath over here that they're going to, all these lines are going to drain into, and that'll be that way all the way around the edge of the house. And they'll be interconnected with a piece of pipe, usually about 3 inches in diameter. And here's the next one for the office area. Drain line on the outside and down, ready to go. Okay, I believe that's it for the outside for the drain lines for today. Now here on the front side, as I showed you guys earlier, they did end up putting in the termiticide, and they are putting in more concrete. As they're putting in concrete, the masons are coming directly behind them and filling in with hollow blocks and filling in that first batch with mortar. So you can see the mortar already in the holes right here. So all of this will seal together. Okay, and you can see they're having to mix the concrete by hand because the one bag mixer is busted. It's Saturday, so we're gonna do shout outs today. Today I'm covering all my subscribers and friends that are from Florida. First, Robert, lots of assistance on the new subscribers. Thanks for the comments and help trying to get the channel publicized. Appreciate the tips and the tips with the tags. My daughter-in-law's god brother, Jonathan. Hey brother, thanks for subscribing. Good to hear from you. Drop a line. Some of my former co-workers that are still living in the Florida region, Panhandle region. Wesley Rutherford, Bo Knows Home Services, both of my guys from Red Horse Tyndall Silver Flag days. George Blackwell, and a couple of more Red Horse brethren, Lolo and Slappy. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Share it around so we get some more subscribers up here. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close early today. Miss Emie and I are taking our independence of the site a little early today. So been walking around, showing you what people are doing. The electrician was here. He's been busy with his finishing up on the electrical outlets, making sure that they're nice, ready to go. They're cornered well. The laborers have been, our masons have also been doing the plaster coating in a couple of different locations. We've got a couple of carpenters that have been putting in forms for the top bond beams, and our air conditioning guys have been busy still putting in the drain lines for most of the exterior facing air conditioning units. I believe the only ones they still have left are the 2 that are upstairs that have not been placed yet. We have a location for them, but the wall is not ready for them to be received yet. Other than that, the gentlemen on the outside have been working on the perimeter fence, and that's coming along very nicely. So we'll see how all this progresses. Everybody enjoy your freedoms. We're enjoying the freedom here of being able to live out our dream of retirement, and that has been afforded to us by the men and women of the U.S. Armed Services. Thank you for the job that you do. Thank you for the job you have done. Thank you for the job that you're continuing to do on a daily basis and will do into the future. If you liked today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the Casa TexPina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen and you'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again on Monday for build day number 95, have a great weekend, a great Independence Day. Enjoy your freedoms and God bless.
Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified when our next video becomes available.